Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs, and I'm back with another Scripture Sunday 2025, and we are in the month of June, and our month of June focus is rest, scriptures that have the word rest in them. And I found 4 that I thought we could focus on this month, and the first one is Matthew 11, verse 29. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Jesus' words in Matthew 11, verse 29. And that scripture just invokes a feeling of rest to me, thinking that I could be yoked with Jesus and walking with him closely every day and learning from him and resting in him. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this week as I do my art journal. The prompts are light green, shape is heart, and art supply is tape. So if you want to follow along with this challenge this week, you can use 1 or 2 or all 3 of the journal prompts, or even none. But we do focus on the scripture. So I'm working in an art journal that I made out of a magazine, but others are working in their junk journals or prayer journals. So let's get started. I have a few ideas for this verse that I was going to play out on this magazine page, which has images on it and text, but I'm going to cover that up with, I hope, with some of this green tissue paper that I have. I'm just going to Mod Podge this down to cover the page, and then I'm hoping to use some of this washi tape for a border. I'm not sure which. I've got some different kinds here that I might use as a border or just somewhere on the page. And for the heart, I have this little template. It's 3 1/4 inches. I'm planning to cut out a heart to put part of the scripture in, where it says, I am lowly in heart. So that's my plan. I have some green paint on hand just in case I need it. So I'm going to get started putting some Mod Podge on this page. And then probably, I don't know if I'm going to put a whole sheet of that green tissue down or just little pieces. See how it might look better if I just tore off little pieces. But I'm just going to put Mod Podge in. We'll see what happens. I hope everyone's having a good day as we start this new month of June. It's going to be the first day of summer here in 3 weeks, which I'm excited about. And I'm excited about these scriptures this month about rest, because in this busy world today, we surely need to take time to rest. And sometimes it's very hard to do. Now, I see that this is not going to really cover up with the first layer. So I'm probably going to have either add a few layers or add some paint. Maybe I will even try to go find a napkin to put that down, just to cover up this page. I love using the magazine as a art journal page, but a lot of these images just don't seem to lend themselves towards what I want to create. So unfortunately, I find myself covering them up. Perhaps if it was a different kind of magazine, it would have worked out better for me. So I'm just going to continue doing this and covering up the page as best I can, and I'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, well, I've got the page covered pretty well with the tissue paper. Just kind of letting it dry now and spreading out so I don't have air bubbles. And then I thought I might add a little few bits and pieces of this napkin just to give it some interest, maybe just in a few places. So I'm going to do that. And then I don't know if I'm going to draw a yoke or not. I was thinking about it, but I think I just might write out the scripture. Instead of trying to draw a yoke. Because at the top I do want to put my header, which is going to say emotional rest. Because this verse, I think, invokes a feeling of emotional rest. Because we're looking forward to teaching from Jesus, learning from him, and finding rest in our souls. And our souls are our mind, will, and emotions. So this would be a type of emotional rest. So I think that's a good thing to think about this week. Just maybe think about how it would feel to be yoked to Jesus every day. And for those of you that don't really know what a yoke is or haven't ever seen one, it's something that I don't know if they use it nowadays, but they used to use it to pull the wagons across the plains when pioneers were going west. They would have a big bar with two steel loops, and then animals' heads would go in. So it was kind of like a bar with where the oxen were yoked together to pull the wagon. So the image of us yoked to Jesus would be, we would be here and he would be here, and this bar would be holding us together. And we would be walking with him and learning from him. And I'm thinking if we were doing that, we would have emotional rest, because we wouldn't be thinking about other things. We wouldn't be worrying about other things. We would be right there with Jesus, teaching us and protecting us and giving us peace. So that's my thoughts on the verse. And I'm making a border, which I said I was going to make a border with the tape, but I'm Maybe I'll have to use the tape for something else. As usual, my plans in the beginning don't always carry through. So I'm going to continue putting a little bit of napkin on this, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I finished covering the page with tissue paper and napkin. It's going to look nice. It kind of looks messy right now because you can see the background here of those images yet. But my hope is, I got some of this green scrapbook paper. I'm hoping I can cut out 4 hearts. And that's what I'm going to write my verse on. I broke the verse up into 4 paragraphs. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. So I can get 4 hearts out of this paper. I will glue them down and then write the verse on it, and they will cover up this part. And then I did find some letters to make the header, emotional rest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my hearts on the back here and then cut them out. And hopefully I'll get 4. What I did want to also mention about rest is on the internet, I found this one website that was talking about different kinds of rest, and they mentioned there was 7 different kinds of rest. It was, I think it was like a psychological website. Excuse me. And they said their take on rest was there's physical rest, which is rest from physical activity. There is mental rest, which is thoughts, worries, fears. There's sensory rest, which in our world today is a rest from all the different noise. Wherever we go, it seems like there's sensory I don't know if you call them issues, but there's different sensory sounds that we hear, like in stores, at work, machines, and so forth. So there's noise surrounding us, worldly sounds. There's emotional rest, which is another form of stress. There's social rest, where sometimes we need to get away from people and just maybe go for a walk in the woods. There's creative rest, which sometimes we get burnt out from our creativity and we just need to take a rest, take a break. And there's spiritual rest, which to me would be maybe volunteering to do too many projects at church, or doing too many good works that we just kind of get burnt out. So I think Jesus' rest would give us rest from all of these 7 different kinds of rest. And I'm sure if we thought about it, we would agree. So I hope I'm in camera. I'm just going to cut out these shapes now. And hopefully I'll have 4 different green hearts. Oh, got a little bit of the text on that one. Oh well. It'll have to be. If I had noticed that, I wouldn't have gone up so high. So I hope you're enjoying this series. In our 6 months now. I don't know how many of you have followed me from the beginning, but I do know that I've got a few new subscribers, and hopefully it's for this series. I've seen some people on the Facebook page who are following along and doing the weekly exercises and showing their work, and probably there's some who aren't showing their work but are following along, which is fine. But if you'd like to follow along and show your work, I would love to see it, either on Facebook or Instagram. The links are in the description box below. And if you're interested in these videos or any of my other videos, I hope you will subscribe to my channel and get notified whenever I post a new video. I have another one coming up this month for Slow Stitch Bird of the Month, and that's going to be coming up today also. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Alright, I'm going to start writing out the verses and gluing everything down, and I'll be back to show you the results. Okay, I've got all the verse written out and the hearts glued down. I did a little mark making on the hearts. I did cover up that white at the top of these 2 hearts with washi tape, so I just continue that on these hearts. And I did use some masking tape down here to write out the verse. So I used all the prompts: light green, heart, and tape. And I'm happy with how it turned out. I hope I inspired you in some way, either with the video or the verse or the message, whatever. I hope you were inspired to create your own art page or journal page from this verse and prompts. If so, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you again next week for June's rest scriptures. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.